spins and makes you guess.
No, I just realized my pizza has pineapple on it and it's on camera.
And that's going to be our opener right there. Holy crap. With this show's already an abomination, you guys. We are opening right on up to pineapple on pizza. I will say right now in front of the world and everyone here, God, dog, and everything in between, I'm a fan of pineapple on pizza. You guys can hate me if you want to. But in the meantime, this is the workshop, you guys, the comedy workshop. If we're going for the long form and we're not into the brevity thing, I don't know. Words are hard. I'm dyslexic, and we're just now addressing this for the 500th time. Anyway, if you are just now joining us for the very first time, like all of the comedians on our panel tonight, you're about to witness a safe space for comedy where anything goes. These people are allowed to tell whatever jokes they want, say any words out of their mouth hole that pleases them. We can talk about anything. I'm not going to give examples because we could go down a really dark hole really fucking quick. And I'm going to let the panelists do that. But what I'm trying to say is we can say whatever we want. We're allowed to, and you're allowed to die mad about it. So just keep that in mind. Don't get your panties up in a twist. Don't jump up in the comment section and tell us what's what. Listen to the jokes, laugh along, and then watch us as we give feedback, because that's what we're doing. Everyone has been given a topic, and we're going to write Sorry, I'm speaking for the group here when I'm the one that's going to write as I go along. Everyone was given a topic and they have written 3 to 5 minutes on said topic, which they will then perform. We will then do a roundtable of feedback afterwards. And once we're done with that, then everyone gets to do 5 minutes of material that they've written on whatever the hell they feel like it. It could be an old joke they're rewriting or a new joke that's just about to get its legs. But we're going to witness a miracle. Anyway, guys, so I have 3 brand new participants here for the workshop tonight. I am joined tonight by Sarah Kate, Luke, and Sean. These are 3 cherries that I am popping. They're going to get hella addicted to this comedy workshop thing. So we're going to pop it and lock it. If they leave us, we drop it. I don't know. I am not the only white girl rapper, but God damn it, by the end of this show, I'm going to be the best fucking one. So to get us started off and not waste any damn time, let's get going. I'm going to start this off. My topic that I was given just a hair under the deadline was stream of consciousness. Yeah, this is going to get weird, guys, because as part of my therapy sessions, I eat psychedelic mushrooms to enhance my stream of consciousness. And I dosed about an hour ago, so they're kicking in. No, I'm totally kidding. I did not dose for this show. I'm a damn professional. We're at work right now. I don't do drugs at work, just in case any of my previous bosses are watching this. Anyways, so we're really just going to get a bunch of my shower thoughts, and we're going to see what we can make of this. One thought that just came into my head right before we started, and this is going to get our stream of consciousness flowing. We're going to open the floodgates on this shit. We're going to break a dam. Let's get some consciousness. If you haven't noticed, I've got a big old zit right in between my eyes. My third eye is open, guys. This is some consciousness, okay? I am enlightened AF. I'll stick around. After the show, I'm telling fortunes, all right? I'm going to put on a big hat with feathers. It's going to be awesome. All right. So, question time. If you didn't really date in high school, but you were like a third wheel to your friend and their relationship, and that person ended up being like a rapey creeper, is that a hashtag me3? Yeah, I know. Sarah's not digging that one. But this is a serious question because I really got to know. Should I start a movement that can tag along onto hashtag me too?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I should. I should third wheel. All right. So we're going to hashtag me3 this. All right. So that's a movement that is starting. That might be a joke right there. Because when I texted it to my best friend and I'm like, we got to see if this has legs, she did not send me back a GIF of Lieutenant Dan. So we're going to say that it just might work. Scott, my third eye can be cleansed with Clearasil. I tried Proactive, man. I went for the expensive shit. But no, instead it's just going to go stream of consciousness. It's like you guys are just trying to curse me. They're like, let's see what can happen. We're going to open up the third eye. we're going to enhance some chakras. And because I Googled the word chakra right before the show, I found out it starts with a C. Yeah. I'm a stupid American that's not very good at spelling. I thought it was an S. Did I tell you guys about my dyslexia? All right. That's about 501 times that I've brought that up today. But that's all right. You guys will hear about it 500 more. I've got about 2.5 minutes remaining of this set. Let's see what kind of consciousness flows on this stream. Salmon swim upstream. That's got to be a bitch. I mean, one of these days, a salmon is just going to be like, you guys, if we just like turn around, we could be like the humans up there, just float on down the river. They've got beer. It spills, just glub, glub, glub right on down the fatties. And I'm sorry, we're not about fat shaming on this show. I'm talking about the inner tubes, all right? Do it underneath the inner tubes, you know, those big round fatties. All right. Anyways, let's see. Salmon swimming upstream. Yes, go downstream. That would be much easier. I don't know, salmon, follow me for more life hacks. Let's see, streams of consciousness. Okay, Scott, don't go telling all my freaking secrets here. People who fight with their stream of consciousness are also into MDMA. Yes, that's a good one right there. I'm getting you fighting with Molly. Hey, fighting with Molly. Okay, let's see where this goes. I've got about a minute and a half, and we're going to tell a story that I've only told to a handful of people. You guys ready? Live audience time. Let's go. All right. So my sister used to work at this dinner theater. Lauren, if you were watching, I'm very sorry. Lauren Krewalt is my sister, guys. All right. So we're going to keep this very secret. No names have been changed to protect the innocent. So my sister used to work at a dinner theater. And if you know anything about dinner theaters, the dishwashers do a lot of drugs, which means if you ever want to do drugs, all you got to do is make friends with a dishwasher. You could get anything from Coke to Molly to meth. If they're really boring, you can score weed. But shit, that's fucking legal now. Just walk into the grocery store and be like, I would like 2 weed, please. And then they give you 2 weed and you go along your merry way like a grown-ass adult should. But so my sister was really into Molly at this one point, and I used a pet egg one day, and I went, the foot shavings in this pet egg look a lot like the powder in a Molly capsule. Let's see what happens. And then like a goddamn Sanka commercial, I passed off this bag of ground up foot skin as Molly. And I was like, hey, so I got this bag of Molly. Would you like some? And she takes it and she goes, sticks her finger in the bag, licks it. Nothing happened. So she goes in for another one. That's right. She went double dip on the seconds on her sister's foot skin Molly. It's not going to get you high, but it does taste disgusting. And after 3 tries, I finally exploded. And I was like, Lauren, stop. Don't do it anymore. You're eating my foot skin. And I've been sitting on that goddamn store. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. Did we have a spit take going? All right. That bitch got legs too. So I've been sitting on that story for 12 goddamn years. And I'm so glad I finally told it. To my sister, if you're watching this, I love you so much. But you and I both know that ever since I started this career, that story was going to see a stage. So that's me. That's my time. And that is how we play the workshop, guys. I think I used the full 5 minutes.
That was, I almost died right there. That was hard. Whew.
No death allowed on the comedy workshop. Okay. We don't usually have rules, but I'm going to state that one right now just for legal purposes. All right. So let's go ahead and open.
I like that you make it like someone would choose to die on here, like suicide by cop. You're like, I'm not going to allow it.
No, absolutely not. I'll talk you down off that ledge. I don't even care if you're just
like I can jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, or I could go on this StreamYard show.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and open this up for feedback. Sarah Kate, let's start with you. What feedback do you have for that freaking thing I called a set?
So I'm really new to this, so my feedback is probably just going to be puns because that's my default. When you were talking about the dishwasher get up, would you say that they're dishing out the drugs?
Ha ha! Yes.
Yeah, so just like a little one-liner to put in there. I really, really liked, obviously, the foot joke. It was disgusting, but it was a really, really good hit right there. I almost choked and threw up all over my keyboard. So that was fun. You could say that she had your foot in her mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And the other one was, I really liked the cocaine story. Or, well, it's not really cocaine, obviously. I guess it wasn't finger licking good. But, you know, did that actually happen? That's concerning. Like, mental illness aside. Whew. You know what? This is why I don't do drugs, because you never know. You never know what you're going to take.
We're getting white shamed in the comments here. Yes, white people are weird. This is white peopling. This is we're comedians. Weird shit's gonna happen. And I already warned Scott ahead of time. So this is a comedy safe space. We're allowed to say whatever we want. Sarah, do you have any more feedback?
No, it's that though. Like, I can't believe that you came up with all of that, like, pretty much on the spot. That's really cool to see how your mind works. Also, my last name was Salmon. And I am human, so it's, you know, and I drink a lot of beer. So maybe that's like how you become human, is just beer.
I think we just had a Haley's Comet. Oh my God. Okay. See, Scott says you do you, dog. I am raw. I'm going to raw dog it. Anyway, I know weird things happen. This is my second show of the day and we're just running on fumes. So let's see where it takes us. Luke, you're next up on the feedback. What do you got?
Yeah, I really, a couple notes I made. I really love the energy that you bring to it. I think that any way that you can connect with the audience, and especially through Zoom, just trying to have that positivity and push that forward. I noticed you made a lot of eye contact too during that, like with the camera. So that does really help me, even though I'm on the East Coast right now. So if but it feels like we're right here together. And another really big thing, I probably am weakest in performing personally, but I really enjoy the writing of comedy. So with that point, the imagery of the foot powder was one of the most fucked up and funny things I've heard in a while. I'm still like trying to keep vomit down, thinking about foot powders. But that was really good. Yeah, I really liked it. And seriously, to just the whole prompt of stream of consciousness, the way you did that was awesome. Good work.
It was literally a stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
That's where we were going. Luke, you know what? You bring up an excellent point. A lot of people have made comments about, Zoom comedy doesn't feel real. I don't feel a connection. And I don't think very many comics have figured out that all you have to do is look at your camera.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you make an excellent point. That's something that I was not very conscious of that I do. So thank you for pointing that out. And I hope that it can be a tip that others put into their wheelhouse. Yeah. Do you have any other feedback for me before we move along?
No, that's all I got, but I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sean, let's move on to you. Got any feedback for me?
Yeah, I liked it. I tend to pick out words that I like the descriptiveness. I write that way too. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you sound great.
When you, I thought you actually had misspoke when you said MDMMA.
Oh.
Which was what is the joke? Could you remind me again what the association with that word and the joke is related to that?
That was actually not my joke. That's from our comment section. Scott Porteous had written, people who fight with their stream of consciousness are also into MDMA.
That's really funny because I thought you said that, and then I wrote a joke for you because I thought that was your thing.
That's beautiful. Well, you're welcome to still give the feedback because Scott's going to watch it. And with that being his joke, I'm sure he'd welcome the feedback. So go for it.
Okay, well, I'm pretty dry, so I wrote it kind of short. It says, I think that I'm gonna develop a pill that makes you trip out and grapple the closest stranger. It's called MDMMA.
was good.
Oh my God.
Because I think
Scott,
I thought that's what you meant to say, was that you were gonna trip out, and then I was like, oh my, she said MMA, so I just put the two things together.
that was beautiful. Scott, if you saw that, I hope you heard that feedback because that was glorious.
Hopefully you're in South Carolina or something, because I like that joke.
Actually, Scott is in Canada, somewhere
Canada,
up.
different countries, so it's like,
I know, right?
you know,
I just make them up
if
as I go
rappers can have
along.
different women and different zip codes, I can have a joke in a different country that I wrote myself.
Exactly.
And he
I'm
can
all
do
about
it too.
conquering and changing names. Keep an eye out for Turkey. I'm going to rename it Chicken. All right.
The country?
Yeah. Why not? I'm into doing
I don't know if
things.
the proud people of Turkey would be okay with their name being changed to Chicken.
Can we change
Well-
Hungary to anorexic?
You know what?
We should
Let's
start to
put
go. I
this
wonder how
in
many
the
people would
next-
sign the campaign for that, like the signature, and then the president would be forced to review it at least on paper.
United Nations, if you're watching, take note. All right. We've got some suggestions here. Okay. You guys have been naming shit all wrong. Tom, that was awesome. Do you have any more feedback?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. It's kind of. It's obviously comedy is very subjective. I'm not a big. Although I like descriptive writing, I don't necessarily enjoy to the full extent the foot style joke. I find it a little in my head. You know, I thought it was funny that Luke thought it was funny in his head, and in mine I was like, oh God. But that's what, you know, we can be sitting next to each other at the show and have that same reaction, and that's what it's all about. So but that's just my, you know, for me it was a little like, oh God.
Well, just keep in mind,
But
that
not
a
bad,
groan-
but just not up my alley. That's all.
A
I thought it was
groan is
effective,
just as good as a laugh.
writing. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was. Yeah,
I will take it. Sean,
and I thought her tags were good too. Your tags that goes along with it, Sarah Kate.
Yeah, excellent puns to go along with that. I actually wrote them down so that way we can have them for future use.
Feel honored.
Oh, honey, there's going to be so many notes here. You're going to
They're
run out
even
of
color
honor.
coded. Whoa.
You're going to run out of if there was only a code.
I feel like
for
those are
this.
notes from previous things that you've just like you're a door-to-door salesman. You're like, these are the notes I've created for you, and you're like, oh, she's paying attention. I should do this. Could you show me what's on the notes? Could you show us? Dishing up. Okay, all right. Yeah, you called me out. My joke was funny until you did prove me wrong. Should have just ended there. I learned my lesson. God damn it.
Not only is comedy subjective, but anything you put on the table should be able to be proven. All right, let's keep shit moving along. All right, so the order that we're going in is the order that the comedians arrived, and Sarah Kate was the first one up in this room. This is not only her first workshop, but it's her very first time performing comedy. So I am beyond excited to see this set. I know I'm like making you really super nervous, but I'm actually trying to do that because nerves are the secret to comedy. At least that's what my therapist says. So Sarah Kate, whenever you are ready, let us know your topic and when you're ready to begin.
So I got the topic of variety packs, which was a really hard first prompt, but you know, it's okay. I should probably let you know that it has very little variety in it just to start off. So, you know, ironic. So I've decided two things about variety packs since writing all of this down. The first is that they literally only exist to teach you what the fuck you hate. Okay? Number two is I have no fucking respect for people who like variety packs because those people obviously have no idea what they want and therefore they are pussies. So it's seriously just a way of like putting a bunch of shitty things in a really pretty box along with like one good flavor to pique your interest or like one good item, like a variety box of condoms. Who wants that? Okay, I just want the ribbed ones, maybe the flavored ones. Okay, I don't want your extra large magnum ones because like we don't need that, you know? So why are you selling this to me? Whatever. The company just wants to get rid of it too. They just want it off their shelves, so they pack it all up for us and like, look, it's so pretty, you'll love it. I think of things like orange soda. Nobody likes it. Sun chips. Nobody likes it. Orange flavored bubbly. Nobody fucking likes it. The fucking Magnum condoms. Nobody needs it. I mean, at least not people in Canada. If you need those, hit me up after. Cool. Okay. Or yellow flavored anything. I don't, I got like a variety pack of condoms. I liked the flavored ones. The yellow ones are awful. Just stop putting yellow flavored things in shit. Nobody wants it. Sorry. So people buy these shit boxes, and at least in Canada, I'm in Vancouver, so people can't like afford anything, right? You have to either afford rent or groceries. So you choose. So they buy these things from Costco, and they take out all the good flavors, aka one, and then they put the rest on Marketplace, and they sell it for double of what it's actually worth, and nobody wants it because they're shitty flavors. Okay, so they end up going to the food bank. When I've worked at a food bank, guess what? Nobody wants it. People literally take it out of their bags and throw it in the garbage. If a homeless person doesn't want it, it's probably bad. Just don't get rid of them. Stop making them. Whew, okay. Sorry. However, I wish I had engaged in like more variety myself, like I'm not too adventurous. Sometimes I'll get like a flight of beers, end up only drinking one because again, why would you give me shitty flavors? But I grew up super Christian, so I didn't really have variety. I just had the one guy slept with one non-magnum sized guy and got married because that's what we do. There was no variety pack for me, but even still, if variety packs are like orgies, I know I'm probably going to end up with like the most plain, boring, vanilla man there is, because I'm just too predictable. So that's that. In fact, I think the only people who actually like variety packs and should like variety packs are pregnant people and ADD people, because that's all that they can, deal with, and that's fine. And for fuck's sakes, those people are allowed to be indecisive. So sell it to them, not to me. Like, if variety is the spice of life, then it's the type of spice where like the lid falls off and like the whole dish is ruined. Like, I know what I want. I know what I like. I'm just going to keep it. So fuck you, company. Stop selling me your bullshit that's sitting on your shelves for 10 goddamn years. I don't fucking want it. That's all she joked, folks. The end.
Oh my God. See, I told you, your first set's going to be awesome. I wasn't lying to you. I would never lie to you. I wouldn't shit you, even if you were my favorite turd. All right. I know, that's some endearment right there. I know, we're going heart to heart. Sarah Kate, excellent set. Let's go ahead and open up the feedback. I just want to say that when you said people who love variety packs are pussies, my ADD felt very attacked. But then you circled back to say that, pregnant people and ADD people love variety packs. So, all right, I felt a little bit seen then. So I guess you attacked me and then you see me. Whatever, Ike Turner. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Oh. Jesus Christ, man. Anyone who's ever seen the Keenan and Kel show knows who loves orange soda. And I, for one, felt Kel's butt crack just go as soon as you said who loves orange soda, and he's just like, me, I do. I know my buddy's on SNL, but I still exist, and he loves orange soda, man. You can't forget Kel. Yellow flavored things. I just love those words because yellow is a color, not a flavor, but that's okay because I refer to the different Febreze scents as flavors, or I'll be like, oh, I got a new flavor of candle, like I'm actually eating it. So that was beautiful. I actually, because I have ADD, I forgot what else I was going to say after that because I only wrote yellow flavored things on yellow paper. I mean, how's that? And then religious variety pack. I really feel like there's some potential to take that places. Like that in itself could be a whole nother set, and like mixing religions and like what happens if you get someone of this faith and they mate with someone of this faith, and then you could like have different breeds of faith like dogs, and you could have like, this is the designer Baptist and here's the newest Protestant that just rolls off the line. And it's like, how'd you get that one? Weirdest thing. We made it a Mormon and a Jewish person. And like, just, you could totally take that so many places. I would love to see that grow into something. And that is all the feedback that I have. So let's move it along to Luke. Luke,
Thank
do
you.
you have? Oh, you're very welcome.
So that was your first time comedy ever, right?
Yeah, I just watch. I never do.
Well, that was really, really good.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And that was one of the points I made, that I wrote down, was you have a really good flow to it. I talk a lot about energy because I think I'm also ADD pretty bad. So I miss a lot of details, but I get like an overall mood and sense from things a lot of the time. And you just had a really good flow, a good cadence to what you were doing. How much was writing? How much was improv? Did you go off script in it?
I went off script. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do. In certain parts, it might have seemed a little bit like it. And I'm saying this, and you're about to see me do the whole thing because I'm up next. The same thing, but like there were just certain little spots. Like I've read about like the economy of words sometimes. Were just like certain like swear words. Maybe they seemed a little overdone or. Well, and I feel like they're like a nice nougaty little treat that you can really use to kind of punch things up in some spots. So just like sparingly, maybe, I don't know. I fucking love swear words, but you utilize those in some ways. But yeah, no, I really overall, especially for your first time ever, that was awesome. Really good job.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was excellent.
I'm sweating like a freaking pig. Holy moly.
Like a sow in a sauna. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
I'm sweating
Word
like
economy.
a salmon on a barbecue.
Like a fucking salmon on a barbecue.
Like a fucking salmon on a fucking barbecue. No,
Word,
I actually,
homie. Word.
I really appreciate that, Luke, because I think I definitely intentionally swore more, thinking that was cool. So it was definitely forced. So thank you for that feedback, because I'm like, new.
Well, I mean, well, by it just honestly, it did seem like you added that in some ways, but there were parts towards the end where you really felt the emotion. Like I would totally say, "God fucking damn it!" Right now, what I mean?
Right.
Right. I totally get it.
No.
Well, thank you.
As someone who uses fuck like a comma, I'm going to take that advice to heart as well, Luke. That seriously, you are just nailing it on everything. It's like he's been watching the comedy workshop, taking notes all year, and he's like, I'm going to come in and tell him what for. Like, here's what's going on, people. It's like, look at the fucking camera and don't say fuck. Okay. Beautiful. Luke, do you have any more feedback before we get moving along?
Just great job, Sarah. Keep doing it.
Wonderful. I agree with that. Sean, got any feedback for Sarah Kate?
Yeah. How long have you watched comedy for? Been a fan of it before you decided to try it?
Last week marked 1 year of not missing a single local comedy show. I go literally 4 times a week.
What do you do for work?
I'm a nanny.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just play with kids all day and then drink beer and watch comics all day. It's great. It's a really good setup.
But you're observant.
Yeah, I would say so. When I'm not drunk at the shows, I'm observant.
Right. Yeah, because I have worked in comedy clubs for many years, and I've always watched the comics, even up until last week. And I always stay to watch the host and the feature and the headliner and talk to them. It's really important. And then same with open mics, see what to do and what not to do and kind of internalize that. But I think you're really on the right track because the presence is really good. I mean, if you were to go up on a live mic, I think it would be electric, to be honest with you. You would have everyone on your side. I think that as far as jokes go, I thought it was strong, and especially because it took me a long time only probably within the last like year or and a half maybe before I realized and could really internalize what trying to do comedy in my own voice means. And I feel like you are already off to a really good start with that, because I feel like just watching your set, I feel like I know you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And it's a good way, you know. It's like not a like, you know, like you write well for your voice, I think, you know. And if I could add one thing, maybe detail, like, you know, you added those tags for that. And then the way that I kind of put things together, I used to like be tied to my notebook, and I don't know if did you write everything down verbatim?
No, just like short notes. It's just
okay.
Yeah, like just like one-liners, like to remind me, essentially.
Okay, perfect. That's a fantastic starting style, you know, template to start with. Really good. Takes people a long time to get to that. It took me a long time to get to, because now I used to not be able to do anything without a notebook because I was so tied to what was written on it, you know, that I couldn't conceptualize getting past not reading it, you know. But now I just like you do, you know. But for you to be ahead of it, and for someone, you know, to do it and learn by trial and error, you have a big advantage just watching the shows. So yeah, keep it up, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I thought that when you said the variety pack about condoms, I thought that it's kind of stupid, but if you ever buy like the ice cream sandwiches that come in like a variety pack, you know, and there's the ones that you don't like, and you leave them in the freezer too long, and you like you want something good, like sweet, and you know you shouldn't open it, but you open it anyway just to like inspect it. That's how I feel like some of the condoms are. It's like you just forget about it in the freezer.
True. Yep. In your wallet.
But then you open it, yeah, you're like, should I eat this strawberry? I hate strawberry to begin with, but should I eat this, you know, strawberry ice cream sandwich?
So
exactly, yeah. The stakes are arguably higher in the real scenario versus my ice cream sandwich scenario. I mean, it's a little more financially desolate of a life, you know.
Could you imagine getting knocked up by a frostbitten Neapolitan ice cream sandwich?
Yeah, I know.
Yum. Ice baby.
I think Dennis Rodman already has a kid.
Oh God, that is beautiful. Yeah, that's a great point. It's like the variety pack, all the shit gets tossed to the back of the freezer when it's the ice creams, and then you're like super desperate for dessert, and it was healthy you that bought groceries that week, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, it's got frostbite on it, and it's gonna taste like a foot, but damn it, I have a sweet tooth, and there's a bit of chocolate.
And how the fuck it's supposed to be sealed? How does it fucking get that absorption? You know, why does the strawberry shortcake fucking little pop taste like broccoli now? Like, I don't understand. It's like, and the broccoli's fucking sealed too. You know what I mean?
Just gotta do away with broccoli. This is the only solution I see is we do away with broccoli. Get the Green Giant on the phone right now. We got to talk broccoli. All right. I'm starting a petition. Check out. Yeah. Just follow me for more life hacks. Any more feedback before we get moving on to Luke?
I would say on the cursing side of it, I know that you had stated that you said that it was a little excessive by choice. I wouldn't say tone it down. I would say use it. I would say between use it tastefully and use it effectively and efficiently. Like if it makes sense. Like for example, I wrote a joke about King Tut's tomb, and I found it funnier to say the full name of King Tutankhamun instead of King Tut. People like responded to it better. So it's just like put the right word where it goes. If that's a cuss word, then so be it. And if it's repeated cuss words, then so be it. But you know, I see someone said so many rules. No, there's no rules.
That's what
there's no rules. But like she said, she watches the comedy show, and you can not learn from people's mistakes or learn from, you know, you should listen to everyone at all times. You know, there are no rules really. I mean, you could take a look at any comic who breaks the rules and is successful, but you know, it's just about what feels true, especially nowadays. I feel like there's a big push for like people interested in individuality and personal success, you know, and like who you are as a person versus separate from your identity with a company or what you do as a job and your title, you know, and people are more apt to uplift you in that way. So if you sound more like yourself on and off stage, it will be advantageous to you, I think.
That's a good point.
I'm a little long-winded, sorry.
Don't be
That's
sorry.
okay. You use the word advantageous, and for that, I'm going to let it slide because, you know, I think that's something that's worth Googling and then using it in a sentence 6 times in one day. Here's your guys' challenge. By the way, have we mentioned that I hate broccoli? Kidding, I love broccoli, but it does make your ice cream smell like a foot. Speaking of smelling like a foot, no, I'm totally kidding. That's a horrible introduction.
You never know.
For anyone that's new here, hi, I'm Tara, and I make things awkward. This is my job, literally. All right. So, Luke Furlow Harris, it's also your first time on the workshop. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and tell us what your topic was and when you're ready to start.
Well, I'll preface this by saying this is actually my first, in a way, it's kind of my first time. I normally do musical comedy. So I'm like way out of my comfort zone here. There's no guitar.
This makes me happy.
Yeah, I want to get more into this. I love writing. I also love to observe. So my topic was funerals, which it was kind of rough to do this one. We buried my dad last month.
Oh.
Don't worry. I mean, he's not dead. I mean, we just buried him. I mean, that was a while ago. He's probably dead now. Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
My heart.
I feel like most humans don't deserve funerals, but we pretty much all get one. On the other hand, most animals are better people than people, and we don't generally give animals funerals. I think dogs obviously have souls. Cats acquire souls from sleeping children. Giraffes, fuck, I don't know, giraffes, maybe. You could fit a soul in a giraffe, surely. Yeah, I just feel like animals deserve it just as much as we do. That may not be the popular opinion. If you're the shittiest human alive, though, and you kick it, we'll have a ring and priest and a skinny minute, but giraffes, fuck them. You know, fuck them. I've heard that funerals can get pretty sexy. Anybody ever slept with someone at a funeral before? I have. Most people are pretty angry about me because shit, they were already dead. So
I knew it.
yeah, all that coming. I don't think we do funerals right. We get all dressed up and sit and listen to a preacher who has no idea who the deceased is, which bothers me because it's insincere. I feel like if you're doing eulogies for hire, you should at least get to know the deceased. You should, just open the casket, look them dead in the eyes, and you bet your sweet ass, that pun's intended, and just kiss them, just right on the mouth. Just give them a little, maybe slip them a little tongue. Definitely haven't been in that situation. But anyway, sorry, we do funerals way long. They're too depressing. I'm not saying we need to make them happier either. I'm not one of those people that's like, well, let's have a party. No, let people be sad, sure, but just make it weird. Just have a clown there that has a fake flower that squirts embalming fluid when you get to smell it. Have somebody throw a bit of baby, and when they catch it, tell them they're next. Oh, okay, just maybe in the corner. Just in the corner during the funeral, have a big, fat, naked white guy, just like me, standing there, saying nothing. No one acknowledges it. Nobody says anything. And I don't want it explicitly stated that it's supposed to be ghosts, but I want them to watch just a little bit. So those are my funeral jokes. I'm going to do a couple of just my normal stuff. Let's see.
Do you want to save that for the second round?
Oh, yeah, sure. First time here, I didn't know.
That was your topic, right? Funeral was your topic. Like, you had to write on it?
Don't blow your load, man. Save it for the end.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got for funerals.
Yeah, because as soon as you started talking, I was like, this guy fucking said something about curse words and is talking about fucking dead people a bunch of times for like 74% of it.
Hell yeah.
I was
Oh,
like, that's
God.
funny, yeah.
I mean, I knew I was going to have to, hear my own advice on that one, but
Luke, I'm gonna tell you, you had me in the first part when you're like, we buried my dad last month, and I was like, oh shit, what kind of sadistic bullshit is this? Giving the guy funerals, it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like Scott and Kevin have just gone off the rails. They're like, let's see if we can make someone cry.
No.
And then you're like, he's not dead. We just buried him. And I'm like, oh shit. I might have even peed a little bit. That was beautiful. That's like almost as good as like I pee every morning at 7:00. I get out of bed every day at 8 kind of thing. It's like the misdirect on it was beautiful. I really loved it. I loved that nod to the cat souls from Sleeping Children.
yeah,
Loved it because not everyone knows that reference, and I dig a well-placed pop culture reference. So definitely, I loved that. I loved the idea of animal funerals, especially with "fuck those giraffes." Like, you could go a lot more places. Like, why do you hate giraffes? It's like, fuck them and their fucking long ass necks.
Yeah,
it's like
that's a good idea.
eating the top of the apple tree and like whatever. Just like all the reasons that you can't stand giraffes. Fuck them and their cute little tails, and fuck them and their asymmetrical spots. And what even colors are they? Yellow, brown, tan? I don't know. Fuck them. Like, I can see that going in places. And then anytime funerals come into play, I always want to hear what someone envisions their perfect funeral as. Like, for me, it would be like a total like EDM party, and people would just be like bombed out of their minds, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, hanging from the rafters. Like, that's mine. I would love to hear yours. Like, is it like a Viking funeral? Are you gonna, be raving just like me? I would love for this set to go into. And then there's my funeral, which I'm already planning, to take the weight off of my wife. If you have a wife or girlfriend or husband, whatever you have, spouse, let's just leave it there. But I would love to hear the description of your perfect funeral. The way that, some hipster chick on Instagram describes her perfect wedding. So I think that could be really beautiful. That's all the feedback I have. So let's go ahead and move it along to Sarah Kate.
First of all, great set. You really got me. Like Tara said at the beginning, I once again had liquid in my mouth, and instead of spitting it, I almost like choked. Like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, literally no dying, guys. Something I really value about your set is like, I'm really impressed by how people can deliver a joke like straight-faced and like very dry, and that's what made it believable. And then you kick him in the pants and you're like, just kidding, actually. So you did that really well. Honestly, it's a really, like, it's funny how Tara said, oh, like, if you actually buried your dad a month ago, like, that's really sad. But like, comedy is how we heal. It's how we process trauma. So, I mean, it seems like a really hard topic. Like, I don't know how I would have done with that topic. So, I think you did really well. And it's just, your delivery is just very like succinct and dry, but also engaging at the same time, because it makes you be like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What? Like, are you good? So it brings that ADD brain back, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. That was great. Sarah, do you have any more feedback before we move on to Sean?
Nope.
Awesome. Sean, lay it on us. What you got?
I felt that to add on to what to Sarah Kate said, I felt that, I guess, the function of performing that way, which would be really valuable, is to not only capture the attention of the people who are there to see the show and engaged, but also, like she said, the people who might be getting a drink or talking to their friend about a prior joke. And I mean, like, they can jump in and out of your set and not be lost, like you have a good way to to deliver it compartmentalized, so it's not it's almost like, I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts, but there's like a podcast I like that's about history, and it's really long, and it's like 6 parts per subject, and it's like you can jump in and out, and the way he writes it and talks about it, you can jump in and out of any 6 parts and not be lost, so it's like, and I appreciate that and notice it when you were performing, so that was cool. Once again, I felt the darkness was hard to latch on to, but and it's not because I am like, it's like, youth pastor or some shit. Like, fucking, I'm not, It's just I feel like I really enjoy the type of writing and comedy that someone couldn't like just read off a card and get a response in some metric, you know what I mean? Like you give a homeless person a thing and it's like a shock value type thing. I like the creativeness of writing, but that's obviously a personal thing, So, and not that it's not creative, but it's just, sounds like I'm bashing it, but
Not wrong.
I just mean,
Looks like a duck, walks like a duck. What? No.
Oh,
I felt the technical, the you have a very good handle on especially for that. Just how long did you have to write that?
I think. Well, there were quite a few I cut. I think maybe 4 or 5 days.
On the subject, yeah, a couple days.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 4 or 5 days. Yeah.
I like that.
Sean, I really appreciate the. That's a big thing I do is I kind of go for the stuff that I know is going to work a lot of the time, and I lose creativity in that. I've noticed that, like with the musical things, there is more I think I've got to offer, but I can't seem to get out of the safe space, that I put myself in.
What do you feel that is like exactly? Like, could you put your finger on what you think the thing that's limiting you from feeling more at home up there in that aspect?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fear. And I know what I've heard that works. Formulate the whole, and I know that shock value. You okay, Sarah?
That was adorable.
That's the best sneeze ever.
I like how the last 37% of the sneezes were not audible whatsoever.
I turned my mic off.
Some button that she like used to engage the sneeze sound to make us think she's sneezing.
I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, I just think I know shock value works, so I'm probably subconsciously writing to be shocking, but I want to get away from that and just, like you said, be more creative, I think.
Yeah. But that comes down to like, and kind of like going back to like the way I write now, which is way more helpful than it used to be when I would just be tied to my notebook and think of everything that what word would have to be on it. But it was like really a breakthrough when I tried to write more like I would talk, like, and not filter out so much stuff. Maybe even cadence wise too. Yeah. It's like. Yeah, maybe just break it up. I like your delivery style, but definitely like leaning more into like, that, because you wouldn't be afraid to tell someone you're an expert in a subject face to face. Right. And they're there sitting interested, engaged to hear what you have to say. You have to keep that in mind. It's not, like you're not in some public park and they're walking by disinterested, most likely. Some places are, but so just keep that, keep that in mind for me. Like I used to grapple with that fear big time. Like, what if people, maybe not what do they think of me, but like, people, it's like road rage, like people just forget about it quickly. They want to be entertained, and that, you lifting them from the silence of them sitting there, they'll immediately not judge you and just latch on board, look around them and see other people having fun, It's like a consciousness that you just got to get 2 or 3 people on board with you, and then it spreads like a virus,
For sure. I appreciate it, Sean. Thank you.
Yep. Any more
Another
feedback
long-winded
on the jokes?
I thought they were descriptive. Yeah, especially the ones where you know, and the bait and switch I like a lot. That's a very effective style. I like, you know, letting people or writing things to where people can finish it before you finish it, and they get a laugh to themselves the way they would laugh and finish something they think is funny, and then they get the additional benefit of you presenting it to them the way you see it, and they laugh at that, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. The descriptiveness was good, and you added it in where it needed to be added in, you know. And then it also broke up in the part where, that's why I laughed at the giraffe fucking, because it was like a digital error, and you were just talking about, all I heard was like giraffes fucking, like no context to what. It was just like, bro, giraffes fucking, all like forceful, you know. Like it made me wonder what led up to the giraffes fucking. It was like a real. It was like you called 911 and you were seeing it like there's giraffes fucking, like, but I didn't know what was leading up to it, you know, like what led up to the giraffes to fuck, because it was all cut out by the Zoom. One of the bad parts about the digital part of the comedy, you know, is where it like
They were necking.
They were necking, yeah. How deep would that fucking graveyard have to be, you know? If there was, I'm glad there's not many giraffes, because like there'd be a lot of fucking. They take up at least 170 fucking % more space than a fucking tiger or something, and that takes up way more space than a human.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a bad comparison, you know. But
cremation would be the way to go for it.
Yeah, I don't like non-functional fucking things, you know. I can't own a giraffe. I can't go see a giraffe. I can't do anything with a giraffe. My daughter has a giraffe toy, but that's, you know, even that's too much.
Oh my God. Sounds like Sophie's very traumatic for you, Sean. All right.
Is that a giraffe's name?
That's the giraffe.
That's the giraffe toy, Sophie, the giraffe.
Oh.
All right.
I just knew Jeffrey, the giraffe, from who's probably deceased now. From
he's dead.
Yeah.
Toys
R Us. Yeah.
Toys R Us kids now. Our childhood.
Did you guys ever notice that Jeffrey, the fucking giraffe, always wrapped his neck uncomfortably around the O from Toys R Us? It was very unnatural.
That much into it. I just wanted the toys.
No, I didn't think of it. I just remembered it and analyzed it quickly.
I love how you said earlier, I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts, like
this is a podcast.
I'm a 40-year-old white suburban lady.
I guess this is a video podcast.
Do I listen to podcasts? Honey, this is a podcast. We're living one right now. This is podcastception. All right. So that was a fantastic set, Luke. I hope that the feedback was fruitful for you. Sean, it is your time to shine. Lay a TED Talk on us. Whenever you're ready, tell us your topic and when you're ready to begin.
I like that everyone had different topics going into it. I thought that because I signed up for the show last night pretty late, and this is my first time, you know, like you said, and I didn't have much time to write, but my topic was mascots, and I'm not a sports person, you know, so I never really understood the mascot thing of it. I don't get the big oversized, you know, thing, whatever it be. Like, you know, I think that there's maybe some items in society that need a mascot that is lacking, you know, that needs attention, like deadbeat dads or something need a mascot. Could be like Frank, fucking oversized fucking pack of cigarettes or something, never came back home from, you know. It's going great. Cops, you know, they could use I don't know if cops have a global like mascot. Maybe it could be like a centaur or something, like a half man, half horse, all cop, and he could like tour around and Deadbeat Dean, I like that. Deadbeat Dean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The mascot, I think that there's mascots that make me angry too, like you know, cereal mascots. They're always like inappropriate, like tigers and other things that just have nothing to do with the flakes of the cereal, which is depressing. Because I feel like tigers would be more of a appropriate thing for Rice Krispies, because if they step on them, they'd be more apt to crush them. Like flakes, you know, would be a little more structurally Yeah, I'm not very good at comedy. I analyze things too much, you know. When your brain goes to the pressure disbursement of a tiger's paw over cereal, it's not like a strong suit, you know. Man, mascots. I think that there should be like mascots for, like I said, you know, things that there aren't mascots for. Like the Marlboro Man, you know, where's he go? He's fucking. Oh yeah, he died. That's right. That's not like a negative thing. I just came to a realization. And at the end of his life, he like rallied against it. So that's what I want to do. I want to be a mascot and make all my money on the back of whatever it is that I'm supporting, and then in the last minutes of my life, like people repenting to Jesus Christ, just go against my mascot's wishes. You know, like the person who employed me my entire life. Could be like Boeing or something. I like how I can witness no one laughing. That's a big difference in doing comedy. At least there's like, you know, you can scan the room at a live show and like and hang on to that one person who's like I told you, Luke, you know, you're like, oh, let the virus spread. The virus is dead with my set, and it's not spreading. It's like there's bleach on the surface of this fucking room, and it's not spreading. That's what I'm saying. The mascot thing is not good. It can't, you know. I need a mascot. Fucking, you know, I'm losing my hair and shit. I had to cut my own fucking hair. And what makes me upset is that I cut my hair at the end of shit when fucking I could have gone to get it fixed, you know. There's a place called $8 Guys and Dolls Haircut, and he probably would have done it adequately, you know, at least. But no, I just cut it myself the day before things opened. And fucking great. I need a mascot. Maybe my mascot could be a fucking something stupid like Anteater or something. Then people, I won't tell people why. I'll just make them approach me and ask me what my association with the Anteater is. Because, you know, they wouldn't come approach me if they knew it, because it doesn't exist. That's just, it's like, I'm just hoping they come talk to me, because people don't really do that. Someone did, because I obviously have a kid in the background. But, you know. There's those walking around without people being interested, like you said, you know. It's like, hey, yeah. I can see that my fucking set's just causing anguish in the soul of my daughter. 1 minute, yeah. This is what I do at live shows too. I absorb the room and die in the last like 40 seconds, and then let people like remember me, like in a remembrance for the jokes that were funny. And that's my time. I'm here for the rest of my fucking life.
Oh god, Sean, that was great. I love your kids ad-libbing. That was an excellent ad. Fucking love it. How old's your kid? What's their name?
Yvonne, named after my mom. She's 2.
Oh, I love it. Great name.
Thank you.
Feedback on your set. So the Deadbeat Dads mascot, I believe they already have one. We just never see him.
Wow.
Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, that's actually funny. Yeah, maybe you could like, yeah.
That's for you, sir.
I'm right here. Your dad's right here.
That's feedback for your joke. You get that.
Maybe,
the Rice Krispies.
Maybe like someone's in a mirror and he doesn't like show up in the mirror or show up in pictures. Like he can't. His reflection doesn't exist. Like he's there in spirit and, you know, physicalness, but he's not like. There's no proof. You know.
There
can't
you
look
go.
Back and reflect on it.
You are the physical proof. I mean, at one point, a dad existed. Let's see. We've got the Rice Krispie Tiger.
You've obviously never seen Junior.
No, I have seen Junior.
Anyone can be a mom. Dads can exist. Yeah.
That is true. But you know what? You still have to have an egg and a sperm. And for that, you'd have to have a mom and a dad. And I don't have time to go into biology here, but I do have a medical degree. All right. The Rice Krispie Tiger. He ate pop. That's how he gets in there. Tony eats pop, and then all of a sudden he gets to join in on the box. And I don't know, maybe they use Rice Krispies to alert the sound just so he doesn't come after Snap and Crackle.
It could be like a universe where they exist and go against each other like Toy Story.
Totally could be. I see an Infinity War in your future, sir. Let's see. And what else did I write here? The Marlboro Man died and Camel Joe has an automated voice box. I really think that the cigarette mascots could have a lot more doom and gloom in their future. And it could be like where are they now? Well, Camel Joe has an automated voice box. He's on Social Security and he walks with a limp. And then it's like, the Marlboro Man is dead. And then you can start going into like the Skull Cowboy or like the Copenhagen guy or Jose Cuervo, whatever. But like all these different mascots.
I like that, yeah. And the funny thing about that is that there's the disparity between the mascots. Like one is not even an animal that is native to our continent, and the other is a man.
Exactly. Yeah. Yet these are mascots that could have actual.
They're like, quick, we don't want to witness people smoking and getting hurt. What's the most thing fucking people? What is something that can carry hundreds of % more than its weight and walk long distances with no liquid? A camel. No one cares about those things, and they're not even here. You can't. Most zoos don't even have them, so then they just went with the camel.
There you go. But yeah, I really feel like you could have a whole like VH1s behind the music. Like what happened to the Marlboro Man? Find out on an all new episode of, and it could go a lot of places. Or like Scott said here in the comments, the surreal real life.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, great set. That's all the feedback I have. So let's move it along to Sarah Kate. What do you got?
Okay, I don't like to say anything negative, but I'm gonna say something negative. So I'm sorry,
Be brutal,
but it's with
please.
love. So it's really distracting in a set when a comic will like self-deprecate when it's not funny. So like not making a joke like, oh, I'm really bad at this, or I can see that you're not laughing. Like it pulls away from the good stuff that you have going. And not always, like I turned my mic down so that I wouldn't be interrupting by laughing, which is probably a bad move. But my laugh is really obnoxious. So I wouldn't always look at the crowd and like judge yourself by that because you never know. I mean, it's always nice for like the crowd to be participatory and whatever, but some people just don't laugh out loud, right? My husband's one of those people who went to a show last night who's the worst audience member. Love him to death, but God. So just don't like self-deprecate in those moments. Like just keep going, keep doing your thing. Other than that, like I think that your stuff is good. It was a hard topic. Like that's especially if you don't go to sporting events or like know anything about mascots, like give yourself a little grace.
Mm-hmm.
This is I think my 4th Zoom type performance. So yeah, I agree with the self-deprecation needlessly, and that admittedly is a crutch that I have that is, I'm getting more effective at blocking that out, but there's times where it shines through and there's no outlet for it to go besides me just saying it. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. But when it's live for me, and I could latch on to that one person, even if they're in the bar or something, and that usually doesn't happen for me because I can seek out dynamically who's interested and reaffirm it to myself and not even go down that road, But great advice, and you're totally right. The lack of self-deprecation, and that's something that, even on a relationship level for women being interested in men, they don't like. So it translates well to, a woman's not going to be interested in a guy dating them if they're always down on themselves, negative, and whatever the case may be, But yeah, you're totally right, and I should be more conscious of that, and I'll try to be. Thank you.
Excellent. Any more feedback, Sarah? Great. An excellent point. I love how we're keeping the feedback not just to the jokes, but also performance-based. This is actually very valuable for anyone watching, not just you guys here in the room. So thank you all for this very in-depth feedback. Luke, what kind of feedback do you got for Sean's set?
Well, actually still on that topic of self-awareness in the middle of it. I feel like so I probably had the easiest one, in my opinion, funerals. I mean, there's so much you could do on funerals. Mascots might be a little more obscure. I mean, that's tough. But if it's not going great, you do have a minute where you kind
Might be on
of
their end.
acknowledge it.
No, it was on our end.
For just a second, it kind of gets everybody back because we all kind of laughed a little bit, and then you get that energy back, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a juggling. Once you've got that energy, that flow again, that can kind of help you get back into it. I really think if you get in those moments too, just anytime you can rely on yourself, try to connect more with the character or the subject. Like, is there a mascot in particular you could connect with? Is it trying to find those connections? I guess would be my advice. I don't have a particular joke because I do think that's kind of
Right.
I guess I'm going to just bring a question on you. Who would your mascot be, Sean?
Oh man. Probably. I don't see. I'm so ill-informed on the topic that I.
Well, what would represent you? Is there like a?
Oh, okay. It doesn't have to be like a tangible, actual person thing, I guess, I don't know. 1 gram jar of marijuana concentrate.
That's kind of funny because when you get in that spot where it's kind of on your toes, that seems to help you come up with some pretty good stuff there. So, just trying to make the more connections back to yourself anytime, especially when you're right off. I think that can be helpful, but still, I think you're likable. I enjoyed it overall. So just keep at it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Any more feedback from Luke?
No, that's everything. Good work, Sean.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's the end of round 1. So now we're going to open it back up, and we're all going to tell a few minutes of material that we have prepared ahead of time, whether it's jokes that we're working on, something we just now wrote, or something that really needs some tweaking and maybe some feedback from another source. So let's see. I will start, and all right, here's something I've been working on a little bit here and there. I've been toying with it. I think it's got legs. Sean, you're not going to like this, man. It's going to get dark in here really quick. So I don't know if you're going to want a night light and a blankie, but buckle up, buddy. Let's have some fun. All right. So got a product that I really want to get off the ground. I talked about this last week. I'm going to bring it back this week because I really think it's got potential. So, all right, this is our Shark Tank moment, guys. I really want you to get behind this. Scratch and sniff crime scene photos. Yeah, okay, so I really think there's potential here. Like, okay, there's people that are really into like true crime podcasts and documentaries, and they want more, all right? Sometimes they overlap and you're like, oh, I already heard about this one. I know about how that guy killed that person. But what we don't know is, how did it smell? Like, what if, like, you see this picture and it's like an old lady, she's been dead for weeks, all right? The cat's already ate her eyes. But her neighbors were smoking a brisket, all right? It could just be like, it's like you could really just go off on that. You could have a whole like pop-up book and everything to scratch, sniff, Nestle Toll Murder House. It could be really great. Let's see. I picture, maybe there could be themes. We could bring in like a murder sommelier where they scratch, they sniff, and they're like, oh, yeah, this murder is going to pair really well with a Sauvignon Blanc, or however they say it. They just sit there, they sniff, they roll it around in their mouth for a little bit, and they're all, I'm getting hints of chestnut. Maybe it's the decomposition. I don't know. But I really think this is going to pair well with a Pinot Noir. So, we could take it there. But, there is going to be a downside. All right. We have people that get totally desensitized to like gore and things that are disgusting. And, like me, I'm talking about this with a straight face and I'm not even cringing. I can only imagine what the faces of the people watching this are doing. But guess what? I'm going to keep going. All right. So there's morticians that just like slap their Quiznos right on a corpse, right? And they just go about their day doing their thing. They don't care. They're elbow deep in a bag of Doritos while they're sitting there trying to find out what the hell killed Mrs. Henderson and why she doesn't have any eyes left. It was fluffy. All right. We already figured this one out. And that brisket was delicious. Now, so we got the mortician that's eating his sandwich while he's doing his thing. We'll have, crime scene investigators that, oh, hey, we lost someone. All right. Bye, Sean. It was nice having you. Okay. And then, what if people start getting cravings as they're looking at these? Like, what if you see that picture and you get that smell of the brisket and they're like, you guys, should we like go to Famous Dave's after work? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking ribs. Or, pictures of a drowning victim. And it's like, sushi? Maybe like a sashimi? I don't know. Clam chowder sounds pretty good. You'll have guys craving borscht after they're looking at pictures of a jumper. And I don't know. We could really take this places. But I think that, I don't know, maybe serve them on a buffet. Because, I don't know, we could really like corner a diet market here too. Because what if you're just... Do fat people smell like a buffet? I don't know. We're not about fat shaming on this show, Josh's comedy channel. But I would like to know, what would the death of someone at a buffet smell like? I mean, is it going to be what they ate? Is it going to be what the people around them ate? I don't know. Is it going to have a chocolate fountain? These are the questions that I need to know. All right. I want to know how this other half lives because it sounds pretty dope. But that's my Shark Tank thing. I hope you guys invest. Let's get behind scratch and sniff crime scene photos, because if not, I'm moving on to scratch and sniff porn, and that sounds way worse. All right. That is it. That's my set. Yeah, I know. Everyone hates me now, and that's okay, because guess what? That shit's got legs, and I don't care how dark it went. Sean, I noticed you bounced halfway through, and I don't blame you, man. That was the way to go. You made a smart move.
No, I just tried to maximize the window and close that.
No, you're totally kidding.
But I'm sure I missed something obscene I would complain about.
I know, right? I can't wait for your TED Talk on this set. All right, Sarah Kate, I'm opening up the feedback. Let's see what you got to say about that shit show I just dropped in front of you.
So a couple things. First of all, because it's my first time, again, feedback is really hard, but I also really look up to you.
God,
so it's like, don't. I look up to everyone, I'm short.
Okay.
But it's also hard because like, I don't exactly know your style, like yet. But when you said like the dark comment, I just imagined like, oh guys, sorry, it's going to get a little dark in here. Like a physical effect. That might like punch it. No, okay, cool. That's fine. Honestly, like I like it. I think that obviously it just needs a little bit more flow, but you're still in like the process of writing. But if you need a name, Scratch and Sniff Snaps, or Snap, Scratch and Sniff, or like something with like a photo, like something really clicky. But that was really uncomfortable.
Snap and Sniff.
Snap and Sniff. There we go. Because do you scratch it? I don't. What that? That's weird.
I don't know. I haven't.
And is it like run by dogs? Like sniffer dogs?
See, you're disturbed, but you're thinking about it.
I mean, the porn one is way worse. I don't even want to know what that would smell like. Like it would smell like heroin and latex, and that's not a good smell. Believe me, I'm from Winnipeg. I know what that smells like. Yeah. So not my thing. But that's all the feedback I have. I like it. I think it's actually like, can you imagine how many crimes they would solve if you could like smell, like not just the people at the scene, but like here, Mr. Edwin Chu, what to do. That rhymed. Cool. The
killer was wearing a Croix Noir. We're looking for a douchebag. What does it smell like
to you? Yeah.
Smells like CK1. This is an old crime. I like that idea. That's a really good one. Oh man. And I know you're not familiar with my style, just total shit show. That's my style. What you've seen right now, that's it. It's unprepared. It's unpolished. It's whatever just goes bleh.
Well,
And
hopefully we don't have to scratch and sniff that one then.
You know what? No matter what, it's not going to be as bad as scratch and sniff porn. I really think I could make you almost vomit with scratch and sniff crime scene photos. And then I'm like, but scratch and sniff porn. And then all of a sudden you're very welcoming to the idea of a burn victim that smells like Famous Dave's, right? I know it's so horrible, but Sarah Kate, thank you so much for that feedback. That's awesome. Luke, let's move it along to you, sir. What you got?
Just like with the last one, I love the imagery. I think it's really helpful in formats like these, especially being a little disconnected. It's sort of like writing. You know, every time you put that imagery in there, it does connect the viewer more. So just that kind of material, I think, really works well with this, or just with comedy in general. I don't have a lot. I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was really funny. There was one thing he said, I should have written it down, but got me cracked up. Oh, it was I don't know what it was about the placement of the word jumper. When you just threw jumper in there, that threw me off. I giggled. I'm screwed up. I don't know. I don't know what it was about jumper.
It's part of a joke. You should have laughed, but it was with borscht.
Oh yeah, borscht. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, just something about those words. You know, just the sound. I don't know. It was really funny, but yeah, and I think really the only like maybe something to add advice would be if you act out more, like show maybe some of your reactions to, you know, some of the worst smells, you know, just kind of get into it. But really good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that feedback.
Thank you.
Sean. All right. I cleared my schedule for the rest of the night. What you got?
Well, I said that I liked it, actually. I liked the subject and where you took it. I didn't think it was too dark. I thought it was right on the line. And like I had said with material that the person can finish themselves is funnier to me because it's more multi-use, you know. It has more applicable, you know, use in a room. I thought that I jotted down when I don't know if the scratch and sniff porn thing was just a fleeting comment or if that's something you're working on, but I wrote a joke about it if you wanted it.
Sure, lay it on me.
Scratch and sniff porn, it would be like a phone book filled with 96% of scents that we never wanted to smell, and then I would always come to the same fucking, 3 cents. It's like, think about it. How much porn do you watch? What's that?
I'm not telling you kind of porn I watch. This isn't that kind of show.
No, I know. I wasn't inquiring about that,
anybody, so whatever you watch, you do you. All right.
No, my point is, when you're watching internet porn, what do? You spend 2 hours sometimes browsing the perfect thing, you know?
I'm not a porn perfectionist, but okay, I'm not here to judge. Like, no, I want them toit.
My point is, you would have to have a large stack of scents for the population, and they would have to be in a binded book of some kind.
It would be like a Neiman Marcus perfume catalog.
Exactly. It would be like an encyclopedia, and you would have people that would subscribe to this. You know, you could have like an infomercial and like, yeah. See, look, Scott. He said he's a pornosaur. Scott, answer this question: would you, if I made like an infomercial for like an encyclopedia of different scent porno scenarios, would you like proudly display it for the cable guy as a talking point to like talk about on your wall? You know, like you'd have to have a big fucking library of it.
Oh man!
But yeah, I just thought
we got someone here from Twitch at Terra Christian Comedy. Do you have COVID-19 jokes, or is it too soon? The pain is too fresh. I respect myself way too much to write any COVID-19 jokes. I really think that, they only last a couple weeks before they die. They don't catch on as much. I mean, a lot of people like them at first, but then they just kind of dwindle. That's not even a joke because I haven't written any. COVID-19's not funny. Get vaccinated.
I have one about me getting vaccinated.
I would love to hear that during your next set. I have no idea why I just did a TED talk on vaccinations and shit. All right. This took a weird turn. All right. Remember when I was talking about my stream of consciousness? We don't want to go back there. Sean, you got any more feedback for me?
No, I like I said, I thought it was, there was some things that before you got done saying it, I finished it myself and I laughed at it, and then I had the benefit of laughing at what you had, presented me with, which I thought was funny.
So we had a good parallel thought going.
Yeah. See, it's not blanket for me that it's dirty. I value cleverness over, and uniqueness over, it's like the comic that goes up that just talks about rape and grandma sex and this and that. Like, we all have seen it. At least live performers have seen it constantly.
I have never seen anyone raping grandma sex.
Put it this way. I did a live show 3 days ago, open mic for a couple people. I did a joke that walked the line, like I said I like, about racism. Very walked the line, not even like over the line. And the person in front of me dropped the N-word as a white guy like 6 times. Opened for my tasteful, like, finish your ending Goosebumps book joke that I fucking had. He just blew it out of the water and opened with me with a bunch of racist stuff. And then the person who followed me was a war veteran, and he was like, yeah, sand, whatever, right? And then the people are like, oh, and he goes, well, that's what we called him. As if that's an excuse. Like, that's what we called him. Like, yeah, it's tough. So, yeah, tough to, like, be in the middle of 2 things that are hateful. Don't do live shows. Stay on Zoom, for the love of God.
Spent over a year on Zoom and stages are opening back up. Scott feels you, though, man. Totally. Me, as a suburban middle-aged white lady, I can basically say anything as long as it involves Pinterest, recipes, and a nice pumpkin spice latte. Everything else I'm not allowed to talk about, and if I do, I'm canceled. Anyways.
I thought of one more thing for your candle, that people could, like you said, like a certain class of people could get together, and instead of like paint night, they could have like scent night, and they could get together, and it could be like a group of people who talked about like scents reminding them of areas they were attacked. I don't know. That's kind of a shitty idea.
That's pretty good there. Scentsy cereal
specific,
party.
yeah, exactly. Yep. And then like, yeah,
We did have a comment up here earlier, Scott asking what a serial killer restaurant would smell like. I actually have the serial killer cookbook, and the recipes in it are the final meals of death row inmates. I think, Scott, you and we need to get together. We need to open up a restaurant, and I'm going to make a scratch and sniff menu for it. This is going to happen, people. All right. Let's go ahead. That is enough. That's enough on the feedback. If anyone has any more feedback, I welcome it. Otherwise, we're going to move along to our next set and see what kind of jokes Sarah's got.
Oh, boy. Okay. This is like the real deal. So because I'm new, I figured it's just best to start off with just talking about who I am. So you're going to get to know me. So my name is Sarah Kate, but I go by SK. You know, when you open a can of beer and it goes, yeah, that's my name. So just ignore the Sarah Kate part. So I'm a long time goer to comedy, first time shower, and hopefully grower. Although I'm pretty short, I guess you could say like I'm pretty down to earth. So, you know, my first exposure to comedy was actually way back when I was just a little itty bitty titty girl. And I was at a Christian youth conference, where an improv team was asking for volunteers for a game called Party Quirks. So essentially there's a host and 3 or 4 people have ailments, and they have to like get the host to guess what they have or what's wrong with them. Okay. So I was the only girl chosen. And being the exhibitionist, of course, I volunteered right up there, wanted everyone to see all of this. So I was the only girl chosen. The rest were boys. So one guy was like afraid of beards. One guy couldn't speak in vowels. And one guy, I think it was like he was allergic to water or something stupid. Me, I was a mime. You know why? Because girls aren't allowed to talk in church. So that was fun. And like, it's frustrating to me, but we'll get to that later. Because I was actually a youth pastor. Thanks, Sean, for that out earlier. For a few years. But I recently converted to the I don't give a shit lifestyle. So that's been fun. I'm in a meeting one time as a youth pastor, and being a youth pastor is fucked up. Okay, like we play really weird games, we have really weird conversations, and I'm in this meeting with two very conservative white pastors, and I send voice notes. I don't text because I'm too lazy. So I send a voice note that says something along the lines of like, "Hey, can you please stop sending me unsolicited feet pics? You're too young for me." And my pastor's faces were like, "Sorry." And I was like, no, this isn't like a Me Too thing. No. It was just a kid sending me pictures of her point shoes because she just got into ballet. So those are the types of weird conversations I had. Timing is everything, I guess. Yeah, the church is kind of like a weird place to be, especially like as a young person. I'm pretty mentally ill, hence why I want to do comedy, of course, because therapy is too damn expensive. And they want you to like talk to somebody in church that nobody else can see, God. And they want you to hear from God. And like, I'm not a professional yet, on my way. But I would call that schizophrenia. So maybe it's just me, but that seems a little mentally ill on its own. And like, they would always say like, I had like depression. So they'd be like, "Oh, you have this spirit of depression in you and you need the Holy Spirit in you." And they would pray and pray and pray for the Holy Spirit to come in me. The only thing that did was my church leader. Like, it was really bad. Yeah, like being a youth pastor was it was a wild time. The kids actually during COVID got me really into TikTok. Yeah, that was a fun time. I can't dance, but I swear to God, my whole For You page was full of just people with Tourette's showing their behaviors. And I was like, maybe they should just call it to Tick Time, not TikTok. So, like, COVID was really fucked up. I got fired from the church, actually, because I kissed a girl and kind of came out as queer. And I don't know what, like, label I am. Like, am I bi? Am I queer? Because, like, back then in the church, I was just sinner. Like, that's the only label there was. So that's been really hard. So I had to find some new friends. And, of course, I went to Google. And this is actually how I found Scott. Just kidding, Scott. I found a thing called Meetup. I don't know if you guys have heard of Meetup. Mm-hmm. And now every cool person, I'm from Winnipeg. I live in Vancouver now. But every cool person I've met here, and I talked to Scott, he's from Winnipeg. Cool people are from Winnipeg. And I type in Winnipeggers, and we call each other Winnipeggers. And it says, "Did you mean peggers?" And I was like, of course I mean peggers. So I answered a bunch of questions. Are you male or female? Female. Are you straight or gay? I think I'm straight, maybe bi. Strap on, yes or no? And I was like, in Winnipeg, we tape drugs to our legs, so yes. And soon after, I get an email from VetLife saying I'm in. Well, let me tell you, that's not what I expected. But really, it's hard for me to make friends. Like, I'm pretty self-conscious, Like, I struggle with a few eating disorders. Sadly, the only, like, diet that worked was poverty. And, like, at least when I was anorexic, I was, like, never the girl that stole her boyfriend's fries, and like I was a really cheap date, like meal for one, who knew? And I just remember being like, "Oh my God, I'm so fat." My friends being like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." I was like, "Bitch, I didn't say I wasn't pretty, so I was fat. Thank you for the validation agreement." But seriously, I know you hate COVID jokes, but COVID made me feel really good about myself because I got to wear a mask, which made me feel like 10 times more attractive. And I even got turned away from a show one time because I was too hot during the screening. So I guess there's a first for everything. I think that's all I got. But just so you guys know, in this age of cancel culture, if you didn't laugh at my jokes, you're probably a sexist. And if you did laugh at my jokes, it's probably just because you want to fuck me. So think about that. That's all I got.
Well, I feel very called out now.
Yeah, you got the most visceral response to them.
Yeah. All right. So for the record, it's sk.
Or SK. SK.
Like ska?
Like sk.
Because I dig ska. All right. Sk. All right. And here I am. I've been saying Sarah Kate this whole time. I feel like such a dick.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. That's what I have on my screen. It was terrorist because I thought it was going to bomb.
And I probably would have been calling you terrorist this whole time had you left it. I love all the alliteration that you used, like the shower, goer, grower, all that stuff. I loved it. The line, waiting for the Holy Spirit to come in me. Yeah, I caught that. That was very well placed. Just one little word tweaked. That was just, it was beautiful. Where my mind went hearing that joke is like the exorcism to follow. So there's one way that it could go. I saw a meme the other day. This is not a joke that I've written, and I don't know who to credit for it, but it was about a reverse exorcism where it's the devil telling the priest to exit the child. So I know, right? This is some sick shit. And you heard it here first, folks, unless you saw that meme on the same day I did, in which case, solidarity, brother. All right. And then I loved the line, the only diet that ever worked was poverty. Because I related hella hard to that, man. That's how I was skinny in 2007. Because turns out groceries are expensive when you was a po. So that was fantastic. Yeah, only thing I could think is with the weight thing is you could maybe go down like, poverty was the only diet that worked. I tried this. Turning out being poor get you skinny or something like that. But oh God, and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, the exorcism thing after the Holy Spirit coming in you, and then other diets that didn't work when poverty was the only one that did. Those are the things that I would really love to see more of. And I think you've got the potential to go there. And that's all the feedback I got. So let's move it along to Luke.
Can I ask one question?
Absolutely.
So after I said that, and I say the only thing that came in me was my church leader, like, how should I, if I'm going to bring in the exorcism thing, because I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what you said, but that's pretty much like where my mind was going. Like, they want all of this out, but they're just putting them in.
Yeah.
So should I put it before or after that? Like, should that be the punch or should the exorcism be the punch?
I think the punch that you had where the only thing that came in me was the youth pastor. That was perfect. I love that. I didn't say that second half during the feedback. Leave that as the punch, but you could continue the bit on.
Okay.
By and then after that, we needed a reverse exorcism because the devil had to get him out of me somehow, like some kind of thing. But there's potential to go there. Like, don't take the joke that I referenced from the meme verbatim.
Right.
But there's definitely a parallel thought there that you can take that would definitely add to it. It doesn't need to be there, but that's where my brain went. So I think that it's got potential. But other than that, fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Luke.
Well, Sarah, I thought it was great. Shower and grower got me cracked up. My guilty pleasure laugh, it was the poverty diet. That one, that was good.
Yeah. It's because it's true.
And that's why it's so good.
Yeah. I appreciate you doing humor around the topic of religion. It's a difficult place. And I can tell you as somebody that lives in Southern USA, that is a touchy subject in our area. I actually live in the Bible Belt as well. And so I've got a partial joke for you if you want to use this, and I think it would go good with because you're talking about pagan and shit. Jesus,
that actually happened though. That's not a joke. Like that for real happened.
Well, I'll give you this, and you feel free to have it and run along with it. There is some kind of joke in Bible Belt, and there being something about autoerotic asphyxiation. There you go. Have fun. Can't wait to see what you come up with.
I want to say something, but I don't want to be canceled.
You should be canceled. This is a safe space.
Oh my God. But the words kink and lynching are coming to mind.
Gosh.
I know. I didn't want to go there. I don't want to say that word. But as soon as you're like, hang out, see what happens. And I'm like, oh God, He's in the South.
See, but when on the West Coast, when I hear that word, it's like, what's the intention behind it? But when Luke hears it where he lives, he's like, oh God, no, that's 16th Street. There's memorials all over town to that.
Oh God.
Unfortunately, it's like
Sarah, that was great. I cannot believe you've never done comedy before this.
Thank
Right?
you.
She's a natural.
You're really good. Just
I
keep,
mean, I am, but I'd like to be,
Well, yeah, so
you got
grab him if you got him.
good material. You can write really well. You tell it well. There was one other thing. You said timing is everything. I think what was that?
The timing. Oh, that was improv. Timing. Oh, the foot pictures.
I got you. I wasn't sure. I had some notes scribbled here. I guess what I was going to say is just I noticed when I write, there's like this intuition that pops up sometimes, like this will work, this won't work. Just trust that, I guess, is a little bit of advice. Too many times I don't listen to myself, and I should have later. But I think you're doing great. Just keep going with it. Keep trusting.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Luke, any more feedback from you?
No, that's it. Good work.
Awesome. Yes. Excellent. I double down on that. Sean, let's open it up to you. Let's hear some feedback.
I think that I am more comfortable speaking. I thought the jokes were good. I mean, you know that I have said that previously on my other critique, but I think it's effective writing. I think that the words are in the right place. You could maybe even potentially explore some synonyms or antonyms for words that might be sitting in place that could be more funny sounding, you know, not say the same thing, but be a little more, you know, audibly enjoying, you know, have a little bit more of an audible enjoyment ting to it. But that's just nitpicking. You know, that's obviously really refining it, replacing specific words. But I think that's where you're at. I mean, I feel like you're, and just to say where the difference between the first set, where it was more, like you said, almost all of it was like kind of quick thinking type material, and the material that I have prepared is a bit, I wouldn't say jarring, but it's obvious because going back to what I said previously, you know, I would really work on not so much the jokes and all that. I think you have that down, but I would really work on, because for me, there was several points in the set where I was enjoying it, but due to the cadence and the tone of your voice and the way that you were kind of going along the route of it, you were telegraphing, I don't know what you were going to say, but I knew that there was something that was coming up that I was prepared to be listening for, which kind of takes away the, not so much the shock, but the surprise of taking that in and hearing it naturally versus like edge of your seat. Like, what is she going to say? This is, you know, it seemed very meticulously put together to say, okay, the laugh will happen here. I will set this up. I will set that up. I think it would be, you know, to use the other word, advantageous, if you like leaned more into like, that was my problem, is I would always try to like speed through stuff. Not that you did, but when I slowed down and started like made it more of a conversational type thing instead of something that you wrote out. I don't want to say like not sounding robotic, because it didn't sound robotic at all, but it sounded prepared. It sounded like it was, you know, just from a performance point of view, I enjoyed it. But, you know, as an audience member, I feel like I would almost, and I feel like, I hope you don't take offense to that, because I feel like that's what this group is for, is like,
No, absolutely.
you know, and what I personally find value in is when people would give me advice such as that, you know, for the really fine details that you might not, someone might never tell you, you know, or feel comfortable telling you that, you know. But you need to hear everything. I tell people to be brutal with me, and I hope that you guys are. But yeah, yeah.
Just to give you more feedback and just another perspective, I think what Sean is saying with the cadence. We did that some of the time, but I think as you relax, it got more natural and it didn't.
Right.
Good point. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good addition to that. Yeah. Good caveat to what I said. I like that. And he's right. Yeah. And it's circling back to my original point. When you were doing the material where it came from within yourself, obviously the things you wrote did, but you've gone over them in your mind and you conceptualize where things are supposed to happen. And the road that I don't want to see you go down is a road that I went down. A lot of people I know went down, is that when you do a live show or even a Zoom show and you have things so well prepared, when any kind of littlest Allen wrench gets thrown into it, it can derail your entire set and you could be 13 seconds into it. So if you are so like, well, like Luke said, when you went off, it was more natural and, flowed a little more wavelengthy, like up and down, and you could like naturally kind of go with it a little more instead of it being like I'm listening to not that it was, but I'm listening to a news broadcast. Because for some audience members, that's the frequency that their brain turns into, like, oh, this is an autonomous thing that she has prepared, especially if people are really snobby about comedy and really like nitpicky and, like it a certain way, I guess. That's what I would think,
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, let's keep this party train going. We got 2 more sets and 2 more batches of feedback to get through. So, Luke, drop a joke on us, man.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, get going.
Well, I went to the doctor the other day. The problem I'm dealing with, maybe you've heard of it, erectile dysfunction. I can't get it up for my wife. But, so I go see my doctor. But the problem is, as soon as he walks in the room, I can't prove it anymore.
Damn it.
So my wife complains so much. I'm pretty sure that's just how she exhales now. I felt like, to improve our marriage, our intimacy, we should try something new. I had this idea. I said, hey, dear, let's take a bath together. Let's try that. I really felt like that would help our intimacy if we both didn't smell like shit. So we tried that. We've seen a therapist now. She, really nice lady. She had some good advice. She said that we need to find things that make us happy as individuals. So I'm getting a divorce.
Oh, shit.
My God.
Hey, you like that? Hey, what's got 2 thumbs and loves weird butt stuff? As far as I know, all of you. That's why I'm going to stay married. It's getting stranger and stranger every day. And my wife and I have a very dysfunctional but normal marriage, I would say. We might have rushed into things. Maybe we're a little incompatible, but we both can agree on one thing. Nobody's mouths need to go in anybody's booty holes, which I believe that's real love, is that knowing after a long day of kissing ass at work, I don't have to come home and do it more. But in all seriousness, I think marriage has taught me some things. It's taught me to commit to things like suicide. I really get what they mean now about time to not. I'd hang myself, but I hate road burn.
My fucking Christ.
That's a little rough. In all seriousness, suicide is very, can often be very slow and painful, just like life. So just don't do it. Let's move on to some more joyous topics, like
I did it again.
Stevie Wonder, I heard, is going to be a judge on The Voice. Just think about that for a second.
No.
No, I'm for it.
They made that decision after one of the chairs broke. So they say that laughter is the best medicine, So I say, as long as Robin Williams is on Apple Music, fuck insulin. I saw a guy one time run into a burning donut shop. He was either a hero or he really, really liked being on fire, because that's what happened. Stephen, this one's rough. Should I do this one? Let's go for it. Stephen King, right? Stephen King's got a new adaptation coming out of his popular novel, It. This time they've changed the title for a more progressive generation. They changed the title from It to They, Them. And Republicans are terrified. So. My wife the other day said there was a spider in our house, and I'm kind of a pacifist, even though I tell a lot of dark jokes. I'm pretty peaceful. So there was a spider, and I try to, like catch him and let him go. Don't kill something if you don't have to. But my wife, she was just fed up. She's like, kill the spider. I said, no. She said, be a man. It's 2021. What the hell does she mean? What does that mean anymore? All right, I got one more. Actually, no, I got a couple. The Bible says the truth will set you free. All I know, as long as my name isn't Truth, Tom's not getting out of my basement.
This is so cool, baby.
My mom told me that the fastest way to clean up a mess was to not make one at all. So I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck she made me. She's so critical. She would fuss at Jesus for slouching while on the cross. And I've got problems for sure, but it's like Mom always said. She had problems too. All right, that's it.
Great.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Hang on, I gotta finish writing this note before I forget. Jesus slouching on cross. Okay. Yeah.
That lazy motherfucker.
God damn it. All right. So let's start some feedback here. I loved the line, that's how she exhales now with the complaining. Even as a woman, as a wife, I still laughed at that, which means it was a good fucking joke. I loved it. I don't have any feedback for where else it could go. However, when you get to mouths on booty holes, explore some pink eye in there, just while you're in the area. I mean, there's some room to talk about pink eye or scratch and sniff. I don't know. You do you, boo. The Robin Williams on Apple Music and fuck insulin. I loved that. I think that for palatability, maybe use a comedian that's still alive. I think Robin Williams is too much of a national treasure. And I mean, even though he was Patch Adams, which is a whole like laughter is medicine movie, like there's levels that make it acceptable, but I don't think enough people are smart enough to catch that. So
True.
I think you would have like a reaction like Kramer had if you said that joke. Like people
possibly
would throw rocks at you and stuff.
Like maybe like if you said like as long as Kevin Hart's on Apple Music, or pick like a really hardworking comedian. It doesn't have to be a well-loved one, like just don't say Joe Rogan.
Preferably someone you could beat in a battle. Like, she mentioned Kevin Hart, so he's smaller than you, I imagine.
Everyone's smaller than me. I'm a very Amazonian woman. All right. And Jesus slouching on the cross. I feel like there's places that could go here. Like, explore it with like a scoliosis angle. Yeah. Like, well, of course he slouches. He's got scoliosis. Why the hell else do you think they put that back brace on him? And
oh my God. That's messed up.
I mean, what? It's not like I said we're gonna kick him out of the Easter parade if he drops that cross one more time. I mean, yeah, I know. I could get really fucked up here. It's like, how do you think he asks to pass the mashed potatoes at Easter dinner? He's like, can you get me the mashed potato? Like,
oh my gosh.
I know, right? I'm going to hell. I'll see you there. I'll be by the s'mores pit. Yeah, I'll save you a seat. That was all the feedback I had. But yeah, if you really want to go off on that Jesus slouching thing, it could go places. You could take it all kinds of dark places. I feel like you don't have much of a problem there, and that's what I dig about you, sir. All right. I know, it is so dark, Scott. That's how I like it. All right. We're on to you.
Once again, your delivery was very... I was kind of anticipating it, but you got me on a few like groaners. The exhale compliment, again, as a woman, yes, you are correct.
Okay.
The Jesus slouching thing, actually, the first thing that I thought was like, wow, he's so lazy. He couldn't even commit to dying. He just had to like quit halfway through and be like, no, fuck this. I'm not doing it.
Trial period.
Exactly. It's like, tried it, bought the t-shirt, don't like it. You know, he nailed it, but
oh my
yeah. Yeah, I think that, again, I don't even know. I don't know how you do it. I'm actually in awe of you. I even wrote down, add him on socials so that you laugh more.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that I don't really have a lot of feedback. It was a good set. I wish I could see you live. Maybe you should come to Canada where, you know, you can say the religious jokes and no one will care.
Right. Yeah. I am tap dancing on a tightrope.
Yeah, I bet.
Not in this room, you're not. Did I mention this is a comedy safe space and we can say whatever the hell we want? That's right. I'm not even keeping track of how many horrible things I've said. I just am afraid to check my socials at the end of this.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be really bad. I know. I'm thank you for being afraid for me, because as we can tell, I don't give a shit. All right, Sean. As soon as you're done with that yawn, hit us with some feedback.
All right. I thought that was, you know, very good style. I like it. I latch on to that style good. I appreciate it a lot. And the jokes were clever. I thought it was good. I really liked the donut joke, especially because it was like, it reminded me, Norm Macdonald's my favorite comic, and he reminded me of something that he would say, or on like Weekend Update, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really funny. And just the way that you said it was good. That was probably my favorite joke.
Thank you.
And yeah, you know, more of that. And the Jesus thing, I thought it was funny. But what I will say is that I'm not religious. I don't really care. But it's tough to, like she had mentioned with the Robin Williams things, there's just certain subjects that, not that you shouldn't do, because that's not on the table at all. You could do anything you want at any time in any way. It's just, you know, are you prepared for the potential ramifications, even if they are minimal, of a disruption, like I said earlier, you know? Are you having this set prepared? And for you, it doesn't seem like it would be an issue or derail you, but I've seen, you know, comics do the same set or whatever, or be very, like, you know, true on their path. And then when they say a subject that they think in their mind, you know, oh, this is going to go great, but it's like, you know, a subject that someone could easily get up and, you know, I remember one time I called this like temp place, like a job temp place, you know, and it was a time when work was pretty abundant, and the girl goes, oh, we can start you tonight. It was like 4:30 p.m. and she's like, you can work 7 to 7. It was like a crazy. I mean, imagine like starting a new job and you're like, you start in an hour and 40 minutes. You work 12 hours today, and you know nothing about the position. It's like, great, I'm excited. So I go, Jesus Christ. And the girl goes, hey, don't say that. So it was literally just an everyday interaction. So now that's a scalable thing when someone's there ready to listen to you doing comedy. So just like be true to yourself and be really like venomous in your presentation about like, don't fucking say anything to me. Don't think you can get up and have a negative response to this because we're in a place where we're here to laugh, you know? Just have that attitude about that aura about you, and doing Jesus jokes are fine. But just being ready for that potential, the potential of having someone or a table stand up and being like, fuck off, you know, is sometimes too much for people to deal with and that they're not prepared for.
Yeah. I think that's real. You all commented on the Jesus joke, and it was interesting to hear what you had to say because I really wanted the focus to be on Critical Mother, but it became more on the other half of the joke. You know,
just like the Robin Williams things. I couldn't tell you what their first part of the joke was about. All I heard was Robin Williams, and it was negative for me.
Yeah, I got you. That's really good feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, funny. I thought you were funny. I would really enjoy seeing you live, you know, like Sarah Case, you know, said I would like, you know, seeing you live. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't know what else I can fucking add to that. Buy a shirt or something for me. Make some shirt about fucking Jesus slouching with a back brace on, I guess. I'd buy that. Fucking, you know, maybe you could have some 6-pack and I don't know, make a modern Jesus. But the reality is there's a lot of Jesuses that look like fucking Jesus. You could probably go to a lot of places and just replace Jesus now, especially in 2021. You could have sandals and all kinds of like similar style cues that Jesus had. He's not unique, you know. He's replaceable is what I'm saying. As replaceable as a fucking KFC employee.
Yeah, we all had Birkenstocks in 1996. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, great feedback. All right. Luke, that was an awesome set. I will also double down and say I'm very glad to see you alive as well. Okay. Because, you know, with your set on funerals and everything, I don't even know what to think anymore.
It's been a dark night for sure.
It's definitely, actually, it's still light outside where I am. I'm not sure if you guys could see my window. It's 9 o'clock and I still have sunlight because that's how we do up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I was going to say you must be in the Pacific Northwest because I used to live in Seattle and it was the same way.
I am in the Seattle area. So, yep, definitely. All right, Sean, it's TED Talk time, homie. Time for your set. Let's do a thing.
All right. When I was, me and my wife were just getting together, I took her little brother, TJ, to a midget wrestling event. And it was against my will. I didn't really want to go. I had never really watched like wrestling before or anything, but he was excited to go and the tickets were free. And so we go and people are like throwing food at the people like within the first round, you know, they hate them. So, it began a pattern of my wife telling me and like that I like wrestling, like joking with it. Started with jokes, but it quickly turned into like harassment level insults for me liking wrestling and wrestling comments, right? So I've realized what I need to do. I need to study the most effective like wrestling move that has caused death or serious injury in the professional setting and do it to her in the Red Lobster parking lot. And then, you know, when see, you can hear the echoes of her pain in the back. Of pain to come. You know, it's going to cause such great pain that the frequency of it is echoing through time and space. But yeah, it's because think about it. The cops would say, okay, who did this? Who killed her with a stone cold stunner? And they're going to look at me and I'm 5'3" and I know nothing about wrestling. And all my family and friends know I know nothing about wrestling. And they'll move on from me pretty quickly to some vagrant or fucking grifter, or some carny or some circus person, you know? Who knows? Those fucking people are doing all kinds of stuff. I've been on one of them. You know, I saw this thing that said koalas have the same fingerprint profile as humans. So maybe I could just figure out some, you know, thing to frame a koala somehow for the wrestling death of my wife in the Red Lobster parking lot, you know. But yeah, I feel confident that I could get out of that death investigation is what I'm saying. Just feel confident in my ability to do that. I feel like I try not to get into like political discussions with people, but there was this guy that said something that captivated me. He said that the president of the United States is everyone's boss. And I thought like, oh man, don't tell Hollywood that because they're going to fucking capitalize on it, you know? Could you imagine a show where it's like undercover boss where fucking the president just goes into like, because according to his logic, Bill Clinton could just go on a fucking crab boat and start barking orders to people, you know? Because he's everyone's boss. Could be undercover. I wouldn't even put the president undercover. I would just say I'm your boss, and then put him in Cinnabon and fucking, make him make the mini pretzels. Make him feel like shit for a little while, like he did to us. I guess I don't know. So fucking Bill Clinton. So I saw 14 people, enter into a dollar store one time. I think they were all together, and one of them bought 14 pregnancy tests. And I thought to myself, like, maybe she's just stocking up for the winter, gave her like the benefit of the doubt. But then the other half of my brain was thinking, like, I got to party with this bitch. Make me number 15, Grabbed the pregnancy test she left at the end of the aisle. I gave it back to her for myself. I don't know how old you guys were when you found out your parents were weirdos. I was like 10, and we were getting some cheeseburgers, and we go into the drive-thru, and this knock comes on the window, and it's like this homeless woman, right? And my dad, she rolls down the window, cracks it so they can talk, and she says, "Hey, can I have some of your cheeseburger?" And my dad just fucking rolls the window up. She knocks again a second later and says, "Look, I will give you a blowjob for a bite of that cheeseburger," which even at 10 years old, I realized was a good deal because it was a 39-cent cheeseburger, But he looked at me, and he looked over at her, and he looked back at me, and he looked back at her, and he said, "I can't right now." He didn't say no. That's about it. Hey, you guys think if you die at the floor of Goodwill, you think they just take your clothes off and put them back on the rack?
Oh.
I don't know. It's a scary thought,
I think.
I saw. Is that my time? Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. You still have 14 seconds.
I saw a deaf kid cursing at his mom, I think. Had to walk up to him and say, "If you were my son, I'd wash your hands with soap so fast."
That's a wholesome joke.
That's a clean joke right there. Sean, that was great.
Soap too, yeah. Because he can't has no vocal box. I mean, I think he has the vocal box. He just can't utilize it, fucking little ineffective fucking person.
God. I loved that Goodwill joke, but man,
Thank
now
you.
I feel bad for that naked corpse. It's like, let him die with some dignity. It's bad enough you went out on the floor of Goodwill. Now they're going to jack your clothes. I mean, what if you're wearing the name brand shit that you actually bought from H&M? I mean,
well, that's when they have, those like blue tag sales every week. That's where they get rid of the clothes that people died most recently. That's this evidence.
Think about how much the crime scene smell would change. Like you remove the Goodwill clothes. Now what does he smell like?
mothballs.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If I need to kill someone, I need to do it in Goodwill because there is no dog that could follow a scent of the ages of fucking things that are in Goodwill. I bought a picture from 1962 in Goodwill. Think of how many people have touched that picture and how confusing it would be for a cadaver dog to find my felonious evidence of my crime. If he's picking up scents from time when people had to drink from different water fountains, you know what I mean? It's upsetting.
Yep. Let's see. Back to the feedback. The undercover boss part.
I just wrote that. I'd never done that joke. This is the first time that I'd tried it, so I'm interested to hear what you think and how I should restructure it. I don't think it needs any restructure, but another branch that it could take is like undercover boss for a small business. Because like if you only got 3 employees, you know who your boss is. I'd love to see that undercover shit. Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
Hands over to like a Mrs. Doubtfire kind of segue.
George Bush goes into the fucking Spanish tire shop that's like family owned for 3 generations. Like,
no, not the president of the United States doing undercover boss, but the president of the company. So it's like you've got a small business with 3 employees, and it's like, Marge, I know it's you. We start the day every day at 5 a.m. together. I know your kids. I used to babysit your dog, and so it could really.
Yeah, maybe I could start the joke out that way and then scale it up to the presidential one because I think that's where the meat of it is like the ridiculousness, like I said, with like But someone
So-
that could write nuclear policy, but then goes on a crab boat and tries to tell you how to net fucking crab. Like,
Yeah, but so a branch of the undercover boss could be small
that.
businesses undercover
Yeah.
boss.
gonna write
And
that down.
then for the 14 pregnancy tests, it could, she could be having a party. You don't know. Like it could be a pregnancy pact that was formed. I mean, maybe the cheerleading squad is late. You don't
Maybe.
know. But think of scenarios where 14 girls all together would need to be taking a pregnancy test. I just picture some cracked out Tupperware party that took a wrong turn somewhere.
That's
but-
fine. And you know what's interesting about that joke is that that's the only time ever that I fucked up and said 14 people walked into it together, and then I had to recover somehow, and I fixed it that way. But the actual joke is just that I'm a cheap person. And it goes with the Goodwill joke that I'm cheap, and these are the two places I shop. And then I walked into the dollar store, and then I was in line and witnessed this. So I appreciate the feedback. But yeah, the original joke is that I didn't witness all the people. I don't know why I said that, because I think I tried to say 14 pregnancy tests, but then I said 14 people because it has a P in it, and I just chose people instead of pregnancy tests. But I appreciate it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it could be a whole new avenue that I go down with. Like maybe she's leaving to go to a party where it's like, or maybe she's selling them door to door or something like,
Maybe
like
they're party
candy
favors.
bars. Yeah.
I mean, people are into things. Like I said, we're not here to kink shame, but that's all the feedback I got for you. So let's roll it along and see what's got to say.
Oh man. I mean, I already said the crime scene piece. But that was just a hitter. I think that my computer just shut off. That's funny.
we can still hear you and see you.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
weird. Okay.
I feel like it's a front for not giving me my advice.
No, it was just my screen just turned off. I have one screen, but
I've suddenly had a pizza delivered I didn't order.
The Goodwill joke made me laugh. There was
Mhm.
a couple of your jokes, the way that you delivered them, was like really almost like Luke, like where it was like very like chill. And so I wasn't expecting anything. And I think that's what you're talking about, cadence, like not making you sit on the edge.
Telegraphing it, not letting you know that something funny is going to be said. Like with Luke had an excellent version of that with the donut joke I complimented. He was like, he either really likes donuts, which I'm like, yeah, that because I latched onto that. Like he does like donuts to go into that, to be on fire. And then I
Right.
finished the joke as him being a cop or some cop-related thing that likes donuts, but he's like, nope, he's just on fire because he's like he's just subjected to the thermal properties of what he's done to himself. He's not special, he's not subjected to fucking, he's not an angel or any kind of thing that can get out of the physical danger. He's just like, yeah, he's and you did nothing to stop it too, by my ad. You just witnessed it. You're like, well, he's on fire. I find that really funny, but yeah, like I didn't expect that at all. And it was really effective for me to like laugh. It was like, a time when I really like put my head down. I would say keel over, but the only movement I have is this, which is, 4 degrees of enjoyment on the desk, dipping down.
I think the first joke that you opened up with, where you were saying that's her screaming, like in pain or whatever, it was your kid screaming. It was just a really good like improv moment, and that made me giggle because I'm all about like physical effect. Like if you could somehow engage that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, because I used to like say nothing, and like if something would happen or people would talk or phone would ring or whatever, I would be frozen almost. But now it's like it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes I'll talk and it will just by proxy go negative and self-deprecating where it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
And then other times, it'll be something useful like that. But that comes with, I really don't think I'm very good at comedy, but it just comes with like experience. And I don't say that in like I have a lot of experience with comedy. It just comes with like you could have, like they say, there's 2 ways to get really good at comedy. I heard a headliner say that you could do comedy or you could go on road trips on the way to shows and be in the car with comics. And what you're doing is the same thing by watching the comics, is you're understanding and picking each part of their style and the way they say things and doing things and making it fit to your needs best, and that's what I've tried to do, like I said, like with me leaning, and like that's how I am more in real life. If something happens, or if I open the door for someone or something and they don't say something to me and they're halfway through, I'll fucking close it on them, or be like, oh yeah, you're welcome. Like there was someone earlier, I held the door open, she said nothing, eating fucking ice cream as she walked out. I was like, you're welcome. Like it's an extension of my personality.
Right.
So it's good that it vibes well, and that I can do it quickly without really thinking of it, and it yields results. So I appreciate you saying
I'll
that.
definitely say that this set was much better than your first one, but I think that's because the topic was hard.
Yeah, and then last night, like I said, no sports, and the mascots are tough because I don't even eat cereal. I eat toast and croissants. They don't have mascots. Well, French people maybe, but fucking no one likes them. I don't even know a French person. Maybe on TV. I don't know any people.
I feel like we need to apologize to France now.
Nah.
France, if you're watching, sorry, we love you. Maybe send one of your people to meet Sean. I don't know. Sarah, do you have any more feedback for Sean?
Nope, that's it.
Awesome.
Stomp grapes or something together.
Let's move it along to Luke. Luke, what's your feedback for Sean?
Well, Sean, I wrote down a couple things. I wrote the word lobster.
Was it?
I wrote red lobster.
Red lobster?
Yeah, Stone Cold Stunner and Frame a Koala. And the reason those made me laugh, probably, there was another thing you said that made me laugh harder, but it was the randomness, I think, of certain little place in here and there. It had a really good variety. And you also tied the Frame a Koala, which framing a koala is ridiculous anyway. That's really funny. But tying that back into Red Lobster, that was good.
That was tough, yeah, because I like you have jokes where they seem very compartmentalized, but then I have jokes like the cheeseburger joke that I did, where that used to be a 5-minute joke and now it's like a 15-second, but it could also be a 2-minute story if I want. But yeah, it's like I kind of leave a space for words or phrases or things to be like deposited in. Like restaurant, Red Lobster. I could have said there's a restaurant here that's all shitty called Hobie's. Like it could have been Hobie's, but that wouldn't have made sense. But yeah, I like that. You definitely, I agree with you. Pick on the words that like try to invoke some randomness. Like you wouldn't really hear them every day.
Well, it was really good, Sean, and I like the cadence, your personality with it. It's really good.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I did the wrestling joke in the bar, the racist bar I was telling you guys about earlier in the show, and this guy from the back of the room goes, "This is only something that could happen in a live show." This creepy guy from the back of the room goes, "The Canadian Destroyer." And it's like, as if I'm supposed to know what it is. Once again, fucking typecasting me as if I know something about wrestling. Evidently, it's a wrestling move that is outlawed in countries because it causes death. But this guy was like, had this chambered. He's like, this is how you kill her, and the move you should do. Like, how obscure for me to make a joke about killing someone with a wrestling move, and someone in the audience is like, Canadian Destroyer is the most effective thing. I just thought it was so funny that he's like, this is the move you need to employ on her. He like knew the name of it for me to go look it up, which I won't go look it up unless I'm in incognito mode, but I will look into it because, is that a thing? By the way, you're from Canada, right? Is that a real move? He hoodwindled me.
I don't think so.
Wait, Canadian Destroyer, you have to do a flip while on top of her.
How did so many people know about this? And I've never heard of it.
The Burning Hammer is an outlawed move. That's the one I'll do, the Burning Hammer.
There's a website called interestingcanadiansexmoves.com.
No, there isn't.
There is.
Oh,
It might not be interesting. It's something CanadianSexMoves.com. I don't know. It was on How I Met Your Mother, but it is a real fucking site, and there's something about Rick Moranis on there.
CanadianSexActs.org.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's a .org. See, that makes me mad
The
because I tried
squatting
organization.
Eskimo. The sticky flapjack.
Yeah,
the
see?
squatting Eskimo.
You're
I don't
welcome.
really,
Yeah,
I don't
just
really associate. Yeah.
cover yourselves in maple syrup and dig right in.
Oh, yeah.
So, before we finish up, Luke, do you have any more feedback for Sean?
No, just great work, Sean. Good stuff.
I
Awesome.
appreciate your feedback. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of the workshop. This was number 385.
Jesus.
Holy cripes. I know, right? We
How
all
many
made the
people
same
are
joke.
in each show?
It varies, usually an average of 4 to 5. So this is about the time this is about the size of the panel that we usually have. Before we get out of here, everyone, why don't you tell us where we can find you? Let's start off with hit us with your socials and what you got going on.
I'm on Instagram at Sarah Kate White, although there's no comedy there yet. I'm also on Twitch. I stream video games mainly sometimes when I'm not working. And it's Squeakachu because as you heard my sneeze, I sneeze like Pikachu and SK Squeakachu. Yeah. If you want to really see more comedy, you can YouTube Reasons to Watch Squeakachu. You're welcome. Check that out.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, everyone go follow Squeakachu and hopefully she sneezes during streams because that would definitely get me subscribing. All right. Luke, hit us with your socials and what you got going on.
I am Instagram and TikTok at Laughgasm, LAFFGAZM. Like a lot of what y'all saw tonight is really brand new stuff. I'm mostly doing musical comedy. So I'm working on I do a lot of parodies and stuff. I'm working on a parody album called Songs About Dongs. So that's going to be coming out. Yeah, it's a messed up little
Nice.
thing. Yeah, you can find me at Laughgasm, LAFFGAZM. And by the way, this has been awesome. I would love to come back, and I'm going to recommend this to so many people. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, Luke. You guys go follow Luke. Go check out Laughgasm because it feels good. All right. I just had to do that. All right. And Sean, hit us with your socials and where we can find you. What you got going on?
Just Sean Pearson Photography on Instagram and SeanPearsonPhotography.com.
Sounds good. Go follow that shit.
I'm
sorry.
Photograph comedy stand-up. That's why I do comedy, is because I started photographing it and then like kind of to understand it better, started doing it to capture it better. So I've been photographing stand-up for like 10 years. My whole site is like just stand-up stuff. If anyone was interested in just looking at it.
You know, Sean, I think I've actually seen some of the shots you've taken of some of my friends.
Your shots are real good, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
That's why that name looked familiar. All right. Well, now I know where I know you from. All right. So everyone go follow Sean, and then maybe he'll come and photograph you at your shows. Tell good jokes, do good shows, get good pics. All right. And then to wrap it up, I'm your host, Tara Christian Wiedner. You can find me on Instagram at Tara Christian Comedy. I also own a little company called Loaded Relaxation Comedy. Give us a like and a follow on Facebook. And you can watch us Sunday afternoons at 3 p.m. Pacific with our patent pending original concept riff show called Rush in Roulette. So check that out. It's a doozy. It's a shit show. It's nothing like this. This is good stuff. Mine is bad stuff. But you know what? Watch it and make your own decisions. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't king shame. I don't order you around because, God damn it, I'm in therapy. All right. But that's enough of that, you guys. We've had TED Talks, jokes, laughs, and everything in between. I do want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank our participants. So thank you again, Sarah Kate, or Luke, and Sean. You guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you jokes. I enjoyed laughing with you. Everyone have a great rest of your Sunday night, and we'll see you again tomorrow on the workshop.
Can I just say that you're all beautiful people, and I love you all very much. I love you all, and you're great. And if I could take you all and interrupt you, all I'd do it. Undertaker.